mistakes we make when we pray. Mistake 4. Wrong motive.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I have some dire news. Our recent product launch has failed miserably. We've incurred significant losses, and our stock prices have plummeted.
Well, I can't say I'm surprised. I had my doubts about that product from the start. But of course, everyone was so enamored with your so-called visionary leadership that no one listened.
This is not the time for finger-pointing, Mark. We need solutions, not accusations.
Solutions? Funny you should mention that. Maybe if you had consulted with the rest of us more thoroughly, we wouldn't be in this mess. But since everyone thought you walked on water, here we are.
Mark, this is about the company's survival. We need to work together to fix this. Here's my suggestion. I think we should cut our losses and focus on our core strengths.
I think it will take more to restore investor confidence and rebuild our reputation. If you want real leadership, someone who can make tough decisions and steer this ship back on course, you know who that is. I say, whoever fixes this mess takes Isaac's position as Chief Executive Officer. If Isaac himself fixes it, then he can maintain his position. But considering he got us into this mess, I don't see that happening.
I agree. Then it's settled. May the best man win.
Let's see who the real leader is, once and for all. Dear God, I come to you today as a desperate man seeking your divine intervention. You see the turmoil and chaos at Faith Mediplex, and you know the struggles we are facing. Lord, I have worked tirelessly for this company, pouring my blood, sweat, and tears into making it successful. Yet, Isaac stands in my way, constantly overshadowing me, taking credit for everything. Dear God, I need you to help me prove once and for all that I'm a better leader. I need you to give me that one big idea that will turn everything around. Let this idea be so profound and effective that no one can deny my superiority, not even Isaac. Show everyone that I'm the rightful leader of Faith Mediplex. Let Isaac's failures be a testament to my strength and my capabilities. I know my prayer is not humble, but I believe that as a good father, you want us to fight for what we deserve. And I deserve this, Lord. I have earned this. So please, give me the guidance, the vision, and the brilliance to outshine Isaac and take my rightful place as Chief Executive Officer.
Honey, it's past midnight and you're still at the computer. You should come to bed.
I can't, Shirley. There's too much at stake. I need to find a solution to this mess. The company depends on it.
I know. But you won't do anyone any good if you're exhausted. Besides, the best ideas often come when you least expect them. You need a rest.
I don't have time for rest. I know Isaac is already one step ahead. If I don't come up with something brilliant soon, he will win. I can't let that happen.
Mark, you can't force inspiration. Please, come to bed.
Shirley, enough. Go ahead without me. I have things to do.
All right, good night.
Hi, has any of you given a thought on ways we can help the company navigate this crisis?
Eve, why are you so invested in this? It's not like the company cares about us. We're just cogs in the machine.
Yeah, seriously. The higher-ups got us into this mess. Let them figure it out. We're not getting paid enough to solve their problems. We're paid to help this company grow. The Bible says, whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your heart. Good for you, Eve. But I'm not breaking a sweat over this. If the board of directors can't fix it, then whatever happens, happens. It's not my problem. Don't you realize that if the company folds, we all lose our jobs? Some of us have families to support and bills to pay.
So what? If this place goes under, I'll just apply for a job somewhere else. It's not like there aren't other opportunities out there.
Yeah, Eve, you should be spending your time applying for jobs elsewhere instead of worrying about this sinking ship. Trust me, you'll thank us later. Mr. Isaac, I've submitted the files to Mr. Dave's office like you asked for. Is there anything else I could do for you?
Thank you. You may leave.
Mr. Isaac, I couldn't help but notice you seem troubled. I want you to know that some of us are praying for you. And that, what you're going through is just a phase. It will pass.
I know it will pass, but the problem is that I want it to pass on a good note.
I hope you don't mind me sharing this with you, but while I was praying, I had a thought that instead of just shoving the failed product under the carpet and rushing to find the next big idea, maybe we should take a step back and study why it failed. There might be valuable lessons in our mistakes.
That's actually a good point. It's worth giving it a try.
I'm glad you think so.
I'm sorry, what's your name, please?
It's Eve, sir. Eve Powell.
How long have you worked here?
A little over a year, sir.
You've worked here for that long, and I didn't even know your name until today. I'm such a bad leader.
Don't be too hard on yourself, sir. The company has a lot of employees. It's understandable that you can't know everyone personally.
No, a good leader should know his followers by name at the very least. People like you are the backbone of this company.
I'm so happy to hear this, sir. We all believe in you and want to see you succeed, not just for the company's sake, but for all of us who depend on it.
Thank you all for coming on such short notice. I have an important proposal regarding our current crisis. I believe we need to gather every single piece of criticism our product has received since its launch and use that feedback to improve it. That's an interesting approach. It was suggested by one of our junior employees, Miss Eve Powell. She brought this idea forward during a conversation yesterday, and I think it has a lot of merit.
We are not going to put the company at the mercy of advice from a junior employee. This is a serious crisis, not a training exercise.
Mark, this is a realistic idea with the potential to work. Regardless of who suggested it, the logic behind it is sound.
Such a simple idea cannot possibly save us from the crisis we are in. We need a more sophisticated strategy, not amateur suggestions.
Sometimes the simplest ideas can have the greatest impact. What exactly do you propose, Isaac? We will compile all the feedback, identify the key issues, and make targeted improvements. By addressing customer concerns directly, we can restore confidence in our product.
And where do you propose we get the money for this trial and error approach? We're already strapped for cash.
I'm willing to take a significant pay cut to help stabilize our finances. That's a generous offer, Isaac. Are you sure about this? Absolutely. What do the rest of you think? Should we give this idea a chance? I think it's worth a try. I am in favor of it too.
This is ridiculous. We cannot gamble the future of the company on this.
The board has decided, Mark. We'll move forward with Isaac's proposal. Thank you, everyone. We'll start collecting the feedback immediately and work on addressing the issues. A few months later. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks a significant milestone for Faith Metaplex. A few months ago, we faced a severe crisis, but through hard work, dedication, and innovative thinking, we have not only recovered, we are thriving once again. I want to take this moment to acknowledge the contributions of some truly dedicated workers. Without their input, we would not be where we are today. I am pleased to announce that we will be honoring these exceptional employees with well-deserved promotions. First on the list is someone who brought forward a crucial idea that played a significant role in our turnaround. Miss Eve Powell.
I can't believe this. How come Eve gets promoted before us? She's only been here for a year.
Yeah, it's not like she's the only one who worked hard.
This is so unfair. I've been here longer, and what do I get? Nothing.
I know, right? Just because she sucked up to the CEO. It's ridiculous.
I think I'm done with church. Every time I need God's intervention, he never shows up. It's always Isaac who wins everyone's heart, even though I know I'm more competent than him.
Mark, I understand your frustration, but giving up on church isn't the answer. I've been doing a lot of thinking and studying lately, especially James 4 verse 3.
What about it?
When you ask, you do not receive, because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. Mark, I think your prayers and actions are driven by personal gain rather than the well-being of your colleagues, employees, and the company.
What do you mean? I want the company to succeed. But I also want to be recognized for my hard work.
I know you do, but it seems like your primary focus has been to see the downfall of Isaac. Prayer requires humility and a genuine concern for others.
So you're saying I'm selfish?
I'm saying that your motives might need realigning. Look at Isaac. Despite his flaws, he genuinely cares about the company and the people in it. That's why he's able to win their hearts. Until your motives align with the good of others, your prayers might not be answered the way you want.
I don't know, Shirley.
You have so much potential to be a great leader, but you need to lead with your heart, not just your ambition. It says in the Bible that we are called to serve. Focus on how you can help others, and the recognition will come naturally.
I think I need to change my approach to prayer.
Yes, dear.
Mistake 5. Not letting go of the need to control the outcome.
I need to nail this interview. I can't afford to mess this up.
Your phone alarm woke the baby. I just managed to get her to sleep not too long ago.
I'm sorry, Susan. The alarm was to remind me of the time I need to leave. I need to be punctual for this interview.
I just wish things were a bit easier. Good luck, though. I really hope this interview will be the one that lands your job. We really need the money.
Thank you for being so patient and supportive, Susan. I know it hasn't been easy.
You're going to do great.
I'll call you as soon as the interview is over.
Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Philip. Your CV is quite impressive, I must say.
Thank you, I appreciate that. I've worked hard to gain the experience and skills necessary for this role.
Now, Philip, with so many qualified applicants like you applying for this position, why should we choose you?
Well, I'm not just looking for a job. I'm seeking a company where I can grow professionally and contribute meaningfully. Plus, my passion for cybersecurity and my commitment to staying updated on the latest trends make me a strong candidate for this role.
You seem like a great fit for the role. We'll definitely get back to you soon with our decision.
Thank you so much for considering me for this position. I really hope to hear from you soon. Dear God, I ask for your favor upon me. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 14 says, I know that everything God does will endure forever. I've been in and out of job for the past 5 years. Please give me a lasting miracle so that I won't have to go job hunting again for years to come. I lift up the hiring team of the company I interviewed at to you, Lord. May they see the potential in me and recognize the value I can bring to their organization. May your wisdom guide their decision-making process. Hey Alex, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by.
No problem, Philip. How's everything going?
Honestly, not great. I've been applying for jobs, gone for a couple of interviews, but I haven't heard back from any of them.
That's tough, man. You know, these days, it's not really about merit anymore. Most places hire based on connections or even bribes.
What do you mean?
Yeah, my brother told me about it. He had to pay a hefty sum to get his job at an IT company. Connections and money talk, Philip. That's the sad reality.
Bribery? That doesn't sit right with me, Alex. I can't do something like that.
Come on. You have to be realistic. You don't have any prominent connections, and you need this job, right? Sometimes you have to do what it takes to get ahead.
I don't know. Bribery is dishonest, and it's not the kind of person I want to be. I'd rather wait for the right opportunity than compromise my integrity.
Suit yourself, but while you're waiting for that right opportunity, someone else might swoop in and take it. Just think about it. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there.
Philip, I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with Alex. Have you thought about what he said?
Yeah, I did. But I'm not comfortable with the idea of bribing anyone to get a job.
Philip, think about it logically. We've been struggling financially, and you've been searching for a job for weeks now with no luck. This opportunity could change everything for us.
I know, Susan. But I can't compromise my integrity like that. It goes against everything I believe in.
Sometimes, we have to do what we need to survive. It's not like you're doing anything illegal. You're just greasing the wheels a bit to get ahead.
I suppose so. But what if we get caught? What if word gets out?
We'll be careful. And besides, who's going to find out?
Okay. I'll think about it. But I'm still not sure.
Ah, Mr. Philip. It's good to see you again. Please, have a seat.
Thank you. I'm glad you remember me.
Of course, how could I forget? Now, what brings you here today?
Well, I wanted to follow up on the interview I had a few weeks ago. I was hoping to hear back from you regarding the position.
About the position, I thought I specifically instructed that we will get back to you with our decision. There was no need for you to come back here.
Actually, sir, there is. I wanted to express my gratitude for considering me for this opportunity. And, well, I wanted to offer you this.
Mr. Philip, what is this?
It's a token of appreciation. I thought you might.
Not a word of this to anyone.
Of course, my lips are sealed.
Good. Now, let me tell you something. Your performance during the interview was exceptional. You were among the top 3 candidates we were considering. It's the reason why I recognized you the moment you walked through that door.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's been a tough decision, you see. All 3 candidates were quite exceptional. But now that you're here, I think I know who to select.
That's fantastic news. I'm really excited about the opportunity to join your team.
I'm glad to hear that.
To my dear husband and his new job. We're so proud of you.
Cheers to that. Congrats, man. This is a big deal.
Thanks, guys. I'm glad it worked out. Let's just hope it all goes smoothly from here on out.
It will. You've got this.
Just don't forget me when you're the big shot in the IT world.
Philip, I need you to take on this project. It's high priority, and I need it completed by the end of the week. The end of the week. That's just 3 days away. This looks like it will take at least 2 weeks to complete properly. This project is non-negotiable. We need this done to secure a crucial client. Mr. John, I've been working late every night for the past few weeks. If I take this on, I'll be missing even more time with my family. It's already affecting my health. Can't we allocate more resources or extend the deadline? I'm afraid not. We're stretched thin as it is. I know you can handle it. I'm worried about burning out. My wife is already concerned about how much time I'm spending away from home. We all have to make sacrifices, Philip. This is part of the job. I expect to see significant progress by tomorrow morning. Hey, honey. Sorry I'm late again. It's been a long day at work.
Philip, this is becoming a regular thing. You're always coming home late, and it's starting to take a toll on us. We barely see you anymore.
I know, Susan. But this is what the job entails. The workload is intense, and the deadlines are tight.
I got this in the mail today. It's a letter of employment from one of the companies you applied to while you were job hunting.
But the benefits aren't as good as my current job.
I know, but it offers flexible hours. You could be more involved in our baby's life, spend more time at home, and not be so stressed all the time.
Susan, we can't ignore the money I spent on that bribe. Quitting now would make that a total waste. We can't afford that kind of financial hit.
Money isn't everything. Our family needs you. I need you. And so does our child. You're missing out on precious moments because of this job.
You convinced me to accumulate a substantial debt to secure the job. Now I have to repay it with interest. What's this lecture you are giving me about money not being everything? Look, Susan, leaving the job abruptly could damage my professional reputation. It would look bad on my resume, and future employers might see me as unreliable.
But you're also damaging your health and our family life by staying. We can manage with less money if it means having you around more. We'll find a way to make it work.
A few months later.
Did you hear about Mr. Donald? He got fired for unscrupulous activities. I heard he was caught taking bribes to leak trade secrets to a rival company.
Yeah, it's all over the office. The higher-ups are furious. They've ordered a full internal audit to uncover any other dirty dealings. The audit is going to be intense. They're going through all the records and interviews with a fine-tooth comb. Everyone is on edge.
I just hope they don't find anything on us. Even innocent mistakes could look bad. Oh no.
It's going to be a rough few weeks.
Hey, guys. I couldn't help but overhear. What's going on with the audit?
Oh, hey. It's Philip, right? The story is really a mess. Mr. Donald was fired for taking bribes, and now they're conducting a full internal audit to find out if anyone else was involved.
They're really cracking down. We're all a bit nervous about what they might find. That sounds intense. I hope everything turns out okay. Don't stress too much, man. As long as you've done nothing wrong, you should be fine. Yeah, thanks. I'll keep that in mind.
Philip, you've been pacing for hours. What's bothering you?
It's the audit at work. They're investigating Mr. Donald's activities, and I'm terrified they'll uncover the bribe I paid him to get the job.
Oh no, Philip. I thought no one would ever find out.
I thought so too, but now I'm not so sure. If they find out, I could lose my job, and it would ruin my professional reputation. I wish I had never bribed my way in.
It was a desperate situation. We should have just waited for the right opportunity instead of manipulating the outcome.
And another opportunity did come, just a month later. If only I had been patient. Now I'm stuck in this mess.
Is there any way we can get ahead of this? Maybe confess before they find out.
If I confess now, it'll still ruin me. They'll fire me for sure, and I'll be blacklisted in the industry. And if they don't find out, confessing would just bring it all to light unnecessarily.
What about finding another job and leaving before they complete the audit?
I've thought about that too, but I can't just leave without a solid reason. It'll raise suspicions. Plus, finding another job on such short notice is almost impossible, especially with the audit hanging over my head.
I wish I hadn't talked you into doing it.
I just wish I could go back and do things differently. That other job offer might not have had the same benefits, but at least it was honest.
Maybe focus on doing your job well and hope the audit doesn't dig too deep.
A few days later. Hey, Mr. Philip, Mr. Carter and Mrs. Lopez want to see you in the conference room.
You mean the auditors want to see me?
Yes. It seems so.
Hey. Jane. Do you know why they want to see me?
Is everything okay? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine. Just a bit surprised, that's all.
Well, whatever it is, I hope you get through it.
Mr. Philip, thank you for coming in. As you know, we've been conducting an extensive audit due to Mr. Donald's recent termination. We've found some discrepancies, and we need to ask you a few questions about your hiring process.
We've reviewed your employment records and the circumstances surrounding your hire. Can you explain how you secured your position here?
Well, I submitted my application and went through the interview process, just like everyone else.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Philip? We've found evidence suggesting that Mr. Donald was involved in corrupt practices regarding your hiring.
I can't keep this up anymore. I did bribe Mr. Donald to get this job. I was desperate, and I made a terrible mistake.
Philip, thank you for your honesty. Can you tell us exactly what happened?
After my interview, I was worried I wouldn't get the job. A good friend of mine hinted that a bribe would secure my position, so I did it. I thought it was the only way to provide for my family. I regret it every day.
Philip, this is a serious violation of company policy and ethics. We appreciate your confession, but there will be consequences.
We'll need to document your statement and report this to the higher-ups. This will result in your termination.
I understand. I just wanted to provide for my family, but now I've put everything at risk.
You'll have an opportunity to collect your personal belongings, but your access to company systems will be revoked immediately.
Is there anyone you'd like us to contact on your behalf?
No, I'll handle it. I wish I could undo what I did. I'm so sorry.
We will escort you back to your desk. Thank you for your cooperation, Philip. This will go into the final report.
I can't believe we're back to square one, Philip. It feels like we're never going to catch a break. Maybe we're just not lucky.
It's not about luck, Susan. We made a bad choice, and now we're paying for it. I wish we had not manipulated the outcome.
But look at Alex's brother. He bribed his way into a job, and things seem to be going well for him. Why couldn't we have that kind of luck?
That's not true. I reached out to him, Susan. He's not happy with his job either. He's basically a puppet for the man he bribed. He has to do all sorts of dirty deeds just to keep his job, and he's terrified of being exposed.
Really? I had no idea.
Now we have to start praying all over. And with my tainted record, it's going to take a miracle to get me out of this.
Don't say that, dear. We'll pray for a job again and have faith that the right opportunity will come. We'll do things honestly this time. In our journey of faith, we may find ourselves striving for certain outcomes, desperate for success, and fearful of failure. However, as Christians, we are called to trust in God's plan, surrendering our desires and outcomes to Him in all that we do. Romans 9 verses 15 to 16 says, I will have mercy on whom I have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I have compassion. It does not, therefore, depend on human desire or effort, but on God's mercy. In these verses, Paul reminds us that God's mercy and compassion are not dependent on human efforts. Instead, they are based solely on God's sovereign will. This teaches us that while we should work hard and pray diligently, we must ultimately trust in God's plan instead of trying to manipulate the outcome.
Mistake 6. Lack of specificity.
All done, Mrs. Pelly. What do you think?
It's absolutely stunning. I can hardly believe my eyes. You truly have a gift.
Thank you, Mrs. Pelly. I'm so glad you like it.
Like it? I love it. I feel 20 years younger. How did you learn to braid like this?
I actually taught myself. Just a lot of practice and a lot of patience.
You're self-taught? That's incredible. You have a real talent.
Braiding has always been a passion of mine. It's one of the few things that brings me real joy.
Well, you certainly have a gift. Here, let me pay you for your time and effort.
Oh, no, Mrs. Pelly, I keep telling you I can't accept money from you. Yet you keep offering me money anyway.
Nonsense, dear. Your work is worth every penny. You deserve to be compensated.
It's really not about the money for me. Braiding is my escape, my therapy. And besides, you've always been so kind to me. I couldn't possibly take money from you.
You're too kind. Your generosity is as beautiful as your braiding.
Thank you, Mrs. Pelly. It really means a lot to hear that. I'll be on my way.
Take care, my child.
They're going to cut off my power soon?
Sarah, I've been going through the recent reports, and I have to say, your performance has been less than satisfactory. What exactly is going on?
I'm sorry, Mr. Thompson. I've been dealing with a lot lately, but I'm doing my best to keep up with everything.
Your best? Sarah, your best isn't good enough. We've had to correct your mistakes more than once this month. Do you realize how much time that wastes?
I understand, and I'm truly sorry. I didn't mean to cause any trouble.
Sorry doesn't cut it, Sarah. This is a professional environment. We can't afford to have someone dragging the team down.
I know, Mr. Thompson. I'll try harder. I promise.
Trying isn't enough. We need results. If you can't handle the work, maybe this isn't the right place for you.
I can handle it. I just need a little more time to get back on track.
Time is money, Sarah. And right now, you're costing us. Consider this your final warning. If I don't see a significant improvement immediately, we'll have to reevaluate your position here.
Of course. Just my luck. As if today wasn't already bad enough. First, Mr. Thompson humiliates me in front of everyone, and now this. Why does everything have to go wrong at once? I can't even figure out what's wrong with it. I barely have enough money for gas, let alone repairs. What am I supposed to do now? How am I going to get home? Hey, stop. I need help, please. Great. Just great. Not a single person wants to help. Is this some kind of test? How much more am I supposed to take? I'm trying so hard to keep it all together, but it feels like the universe is against me. Every step forward is met with 2 steps back. Dear God, I don't even know where to begin. My life feels like it's falling apart. I don't know how much more I can take. Why is everything so hard? Why do I have so many problems? The bills keep piling up. My job is on the line. And now my car breaks down. I know I'm supposed to be grateful for what I have, but it's so hard when everything feels so overwhelming. I feel so alone, so lost. I can't do this on my own. Please, just fix everything. I don't know what else to do. Please, God, hear my cries. Help me.
That'll be $85.23, ma'am.
Here you go.
I'm sorry, but you're a bit short. You only have $65 here.
Oh? Okay. Let's see. Can you take off the roll-on and the other toiletries?
Sure thing. Let me adjust that for you.
How much does that leave us with?
That brings it down to $62.50. You're all set now.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. I hope everything works out for you. Excuse me, I was standing behind you at the cashier. I know it's none of my business, but I thought I should let you know your body odor is quite strong. It's really unpleasant.
That is a very thoughtless thing to say.
Did I say something wrong? I just wanted to give you advice as a fellow lady.
Please, just leave me alone.
Whatever.
God, why? Why does everything have to be so hard? Why do I have to deal with so much? I try so hard, but it's never enough. I can't even afford basic things like groceries and toiletries. And now I'm being humiliated by strangers for it. I feel so alone, so abandoned. I don't know how much more I can take. Please, God, fix this. Fix my life. I don't know how much more I can take.
There, another beautiful braid.
Yeah. That's right.
Sarah. You don't seem yourself today. Is everything all right?
Oh, I'm fine, Mrs. Pelly. Just a bit tired, that's all.
Sarah, I've known you long enough to see when something's bothering you. Please, talk to me. What's going on?
It's just everything, Mrs. Pelly. Life feels so hard right now. My prayers, they don't seem to go beyond the ceiling. I'm so tired of it all.
If you don't mind me asking, what have you been praying for, dear?
Everything. I ask God to fix me, but nothing seems to change.
Sarah, sometimes we need to be specific in our prayers. Just saying everything might not be enough. Do you remember the story of blind Bartimaeus in the Bible?
Yes, a little.
Bartimaeus was a blind man who sat by the roadside begging. One day when he heard that Jesus was passing by, he began to shout, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." People tried to hush him, but he shouted even louder. When Jesus called him over, he asked Bartimaeus a very specific question, "What do you want me to do for you?"
But it was obvious. He'd definitely want his sight restored.
Exactly. But Jesus still wanted Bartimaeus to be specific about his need. It was after Bartimaeus said, "Rabbi, I want to see," that Jesus granted his request and healed him. Also, take the man at the pool of Bethesda, for instance. John chapter 5 verse 6 says, Jesus said to him, "Would you like to be healed?"
I have only ever complained when I go to God in prayer.
It's important to move beyond just expressing our frustrations. Identify the specific areas where you need God's help. Ask Him for guidance on what to do. It helps to clarify your needs and your prayer focus. Besides, if you are not specific with your prayer request, how would you know when the answer manifests?
I think I can do that. Thank you, Mrs. Pelly.
You're welcome, Sarah. Remember, God is always listening. Sometimes we just need to learn how to ask.
Dear God, I come to you today with a clearer heart and mind. I have spent so much time complaining and feeling overwhelmed, but now I see that I need to be specific about what I need. Thank you for helping me realize this. I have realized that the majority of my problems could be solved with more financial stability. So today, I'm asking for your help in finding a better paying job. Please guide me to the right opportunities, and give me the wisdom to recognize them when they come. I just had an idea about how to make more money. Thank you, Jesus, for speaking to me and giving me this idea. Please help me to develop it and turn it into something that can sustain me. A couple of months later.
Sarah, this is Mrs. Jonathan. She's been wanting to get her hair done ever since I showed her the braids you did for me.
Hi.
It's lovely to meet you, Mrs. Jonathan.
Mrs. Jonathan, Sarah is not just good, she's fast. And you will be able to sleep peacefully at night because her braids are painless.
Thank you for the kind words and for all the customers you've been sending my way, Mrs. Pelly. Even from your distant location.
Oh, it's your skill and professionalism that attracts them to you, dear.
Speaking of which, Mrs. Pelly, I wanted to let you know that starting from Monday, I'll no longer be braiding hair at home. I've finally opened my own hair salon downtown.
I'm so proud of you. From a low-paying, toxic job to owning your own salon. You've come so far.
It's all by God's grace and guidance. I wouldn't be where I am without His blessings.
You're right, dear.
Mrs. Jonathan, would it be alright if I filmed the braiding process for my YouTube channel? It helps attract more customers.
As long as you don't show my face, I'm okay with it.
Thank you, Mrs. Jonathan. I always make sure to focus on the braids only. Now, let's get started with the braids.
It is important to note that lack of specificity in prayer does not inherently hinder answers to prayer, but being specific can enhance the clarity and focus of your prayer life. When you pray specifically, you are clearly expressing your needs and desires to God. This can help you understand what you are truly seeking, why you are seeking it, and more importantly, what you can do about it. Specific prayers can make it easier to recognize when and how God answers your prayers. When you pray generally, it might be harder to see God's response clearly. And lastly, specific prayers can strengthen your faith and deepen your relationship with God. This is because seeing specific answers to your prayers builds your trust in God's responsiveness and saving power in other areas of your life. If you found value in this video, please do well to hit the like button and subscribe for the last part of this prayer mistake series. Thank you for watching.